I'm on page 230 of your Osborne book, Statistical Functions, stage 2. We're going to do some further analysis on this data. We want to add a second sheet in our workbook. So I'm going to click on the plus and I'm going to rename it and I'm going to call it Invoice Copy. When I'm done, I'll press enter. I've been asked to copy columns A through to D and paste it in Invoice Copy. Right click and paste. If you have anything in cell D2, you need to clear the contents, so right click and clear contents. In F3, we want to enter total invoices. In F4, we want to enter a formula to use count on the value column to identify how many invoices are listed. I'm going to go to the drop down on auto sum and count numbers. Remember, count only counts numbers. So I'm going to click there. I'm going to be using C4 all the way down to C38. So I'm going to be writing C4 colon C38 and I'm going to press enter. If any of the cells were empty, it would not count it. So at the moment I've got 35 cells. If I take this out, it will go to 34 as the cell must have a value in it. In G3, I want to type invoices with ref. In G4, I want to enter a formula to identify how many invoices have a supplier reference. As my supplier reference are letters, I will need to use count A. So if I click on the drop down, you'll see that there is no count A. If I click on more functions, there might be there in the most recently used. If it's not, I can type it in the finder and the computer will find it for me. Once I've opened it, I can then type from B4 colon B38. When I'm done, I can press enter. It's worked out that there are only 32 invoices with a reference. In cell H3, I want to enter missing suppliers. In H4, I want to enter a formula which uses both the count and count A function to calculate how many invoices are missing. So I'm going to do equals count, open brackets, C4 colon C38, close bracket, minus the count A, open bracket, B4 colon to B38, close bracket. You'll see that the count has come up in blue and the count A has come up in red. When I press enter, it's come up as 3 because I could have done F4 minus G4, but as they wanted me to use count and count A, I've done that. We now need to look at this spreadsheet showing our formulas. So if I go to formulas, show formulas, adjust the size, you'll see your formulas are nice and clear there. If we look at the date column, you'll see that the date has gone and it's come up with numbers. That's because in formulas, the computer doesn't understand date functions. To take the formulas off, I'll click on show formulas and adjust my columns accordingly so that I can see all data clearly. In cell I3, I want to enter invoices paid. In I4, I want to enter a formula to count how many invoices have been paid using the COUNTIF function. So I could go here on formulas and drop down because I also have the auto sum here, more functions. I've got COUNTIF here. So in COUNTIF, I need to put in a range. As I'm looking for the invoices that have been paid, my range will be D4 to D38. In the criteria, I want to put in more than 0. When I press enter, it's told me only 17 invoices have been paid. That's because I have gaps here, which means I've not been paid yet. In J3, I want to put in invoices not paid. In J4, I want to put in a formula using COUNTIF to find how many invoices have not been paid. If you have your formula already open, you can select it. If not, you'll have to go back to the drop-down menu, More Functions, and then select COUNTIF. We'll need to select our range, so we're still going to be using the date paid, so it'll be from D4 to D38. We're looking for criteria where they are empty. So because we want it to be empty, we'll just use speech marks, as that means empty. When I press enter, it's told me that 18 invoices are still outstanding. You'll need to save your workbook, keeping the same name, and maybe take a second to go into show formulas and become more familiar with the formulas. And there we have it, stage 2 is now complete.